Hi, everyone. I'm Ken Rakowski. That's Sandy Grigsby. Welcome to our hour where we talk about everything. Last week, we talked about what it took to get yourself onto traditional broadcast radio, some of the tips and tricks there. Today is around the idea of what it takes to mood board your personal brand. This is important. Mood board. You go, what? Mood board? I'm a dude. Why do I need to do that? Wrong answer. If you go to Gary Vaynerchuk, and you go look at Gary V, which will give you an idea, his brand echoes who he is across every form of social media, how he walks out on stage, everything he does, and it's effortless to him. This is important. Effortless means it's just who he is. And if you look at really well-known, recognized individuals from Oprah to Michelle Obama, it doesn't matter. Their personal brand should be effortless, and so should yours. And generally the reason why it's not effortless is because you have not done one simple exercise, and that is
a mood board.
A mood board.
It's so easy.
And I don't like the word a mood board. I kind of hate it, actually.
Yeah.
I do.
But it is technically a mood board.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not what mood I'm in right now. It's actually
the mood for your personal brand.
Yeah, but moods change. Moods are dynamic. This is yours is very solid. What?
It likes to call it a lifestyle board.
It is a lifestyle board. It gives you the lifestyle of what you're at and how you should understand and interpret what you're at all the time. So today we're going to understand what it takes to go. Yours is on for some reason. I want to be able to.
My what?
Your camera is focused. Let me go. There we go. So we're going to do is go through this idea of what a mood board is. And first I want to start with something very, very simple. You've heard me do this before in front of an audience, and that is, what's your favorite animal? Barbara, what's your favorite animal?
Dog.
A dog, just simple dog. Marco, favorite animal?
Cat.
You didn't say it. Did you say cat or an ant?
Yeah, cat.
A cat. Got it. It was an ant that had been different. David?
Changes from day to day, but today I'd say an eagle.
An eagle. An eagle. Very, very strong. Rick, favorite animal?
Dog.
A dog. Now, what you just answered, same thing with Alan and everybody else that's on this call. I want you then to attach, if you describe that animal to somebody, what are 3 adjectives that describe that animal? Adjectives. Rick, 3 adjectives that describe a dog.
Unconditional love. Let's see. The dog's always happy with me. It always greets me when I get home.
So happy, unconditional love. What's another adjective?
Contentment.
Contentment. Hold on to that. Barbara, 3 adjectives that describe a dog.
Playful.
Playful.
Joyous.
Joyous.
And what else about a dog? They are always happy.
They are happy. And then Marco, 3 adjectives that describe a cat.
A cat. Independent.
Independent.
Comforting and flexible.
Ooh, and flexible. That's good. And of course, an eagle, which I want you to run with there, David. 3 adjectives that describe an eagle.
See, so not perturbed by what's going on down below.
Adjectives, not whole sentences.
Serene.
Serene.
Far seen.
What was that one?
Far seen. Sees far.
Far seeing, okay.
And weirdly, I'd say playful, because the wind, it can float around in the wind.
So what you've done is what? What do they kind of do?
You have described yourself.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, David.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm shocked by that insight. Just
In a
shocked.
weird way.
I never saw you going that direction. Oh my God.
Of course you did.
Blindsided.
We've done it before in the past. Now that was fun, and of course it's something that you were set up and you kind of knew it, but it just gave you a little teeny sense of that. When you do a mood board, it's another world. I'm going to go off. It is another world. So I'm going to go off and make you a co-host. Sandy, you are now a co-host, which means you got the power, girl. So
I own the universe.
She owns the universe. So let's kind of go through this process of what that means. And can you kind of give us an idea what a Well, what a brand looks. Can we go through just kind of a personal brand and what it looks like for somebody?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you're kind of jumping around and things. So can you grab a hold of the screen and show us what you got? And we probably need to see your camera. Here she goes. Here comes Sandy Grigsby, everyone.
We're gonna use Nikolai Rakowski's mood board.
No,
since-
I changed it. See? Oh, you're gonna use my son's mood board.
Yeah,
Okay, that's my
since
son's
it's
board. Oh,
really
that's cool.
Okay, so let's share this.
All right, here we go. Here we go. You're gonna see what's on here.
All right. So this is the mood board that Nikolai Rakowski put together.
This is my son, everyone. 18-year-old, 19-year-old.
So you can see that he started pinning things that he loves. Because I always recommend that you pin things that when you see it, it speaks to you. Something about that image just draws you in and you go, oh, I love it. You don't have to necessarily know why you love it, but you just love it.
And when we say pin, we're going to use Pinterest to do that. We'll show how you do that also, okay? But pin means you look at a picture and you say, oh, I'm gravitating towards this picture. And you say, kind of like a like almost.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, but more than like, you have to love it.
Okay.
So he loves all kinds of different international types of things, clothing, musical instruments, food. So you can see he has all kinds of food, ethnic food here, and he's got different clothing. He also loves clothing that feels sort of like historical. He loves that feeling. So he went ahead and he pinned a lot of stuff. I always recommend a minimum of 150 pins.
There's a
he
lot
did
of similarity,
more
by the
than
way.
150 pins. But you can see that throughout all of his pins, there's a common theme. His common theme to begin with is this orangish kind of color.
You've seen the sand
You
dunes.
see it here in the sand dunes. You see it even, it turns to red because I like to go monochromatically from the color scale. So it could go as light as this and as bold as this red because they're all on the same kind of spectrum. Then the next color that he pulls, oh, you see that orange throughout. So here's the red. The orange kind of goes into yellow. So it's like these super warm orangey tones. You'll see them all through here. Here's that red splashing again.
That looks really cool.
Here's the orange. And you can see he probably picked this image because of the outfit, because he likes funky outfits like that. But subconsciously, he also picked it because of that orange tone in the background. Then the next color that he picks is this green. So you can see like kind of an olive green going to like a sage green. You can see it throughout. It's showing up in all of the clothing. It's showing up in the trees. It's even showing up in the food. There's that orange in the pumpkin, the pumpkin pie. But that green is showing up in the landscapes. It's showing up in the containers. It just keeps pulling. And the themes that he's pulling are jackets that are like this, right? Something edgy and different, something that feels cultural. And
almost and tight too. So
yeah, and tight pants, coats like this, and hats. He really is into hats and colors.
By the way, this is my son that was born in Chicago, the suburbs of Chicago. This is what he's gravitated towards. Isn't that interesting?
This look as well, which is a really good look for him.
It's so him, by the
He
way.
plays a bagpipe.
He plays the bagpipe.
So this would totally be his look. And he gravitated to all these things. So from this mood board, I will show you what I created.
Again, using things that are in Pinterest, and we'll show that process. And we're going to ask you to try to do this yourself also. So from that, this is what is then, now this would be the mood board. This is
his actual final mood board. So you can see from the final mood board, here are those colors. There's that red, there's the orange, the yellow that you see pulling throughout, that green, and then this teal blue also is a common color, and white. So he has a lot of white in his clothing, white shirts. There's this brown would be like a combination. It's okay to kind of blend the colors
I
together.
see him wearing that.
And that's where we're going. And he has all of these different looks in here, which feel unique and authentic to him. When he saw this mood board, he freaked out. He's like, it's exactly me. I love it. It's so perfect. And from this mood board, he used it to shop and to source the way that he stylizes his images and such. And I'll show you what that looks like on Instagram.
My son's Instagram. Okay, now we're going to go on Nikolai's Instagram. It's so funny. Because now my son, he makes some decent money now too. So all he's doing is buying clothes that follow this flow because he feels so free now because he knows exactly what he should get. He doesn't, try something that's outside the mood board space. and he feels so excited about it. It's so fun.
Okay.
Okay,
Can you guys see this
well, you
image?
gotta share it. You gotta share the screen.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the right one. Okay, you're gonna see this and you're gonna see exactly his mood board. So let me stop sharing that and share the new screen.
So now we're looking at my son's Instagram.
Can I just ask a question
Yes.
about the color selection and the images? How was that? Who did that, or was it? I mean, I could.
We'll show you how that's done in a
I'll
moment
explain
too.
that in just a minute. So
Okay, fine. Jump in
here,
there. Okay.
this wardrobe
That's
looks just like what was on his mood board. This is Nikolai right here. And the funny part is he used his mood board to actually dress other people. So these are actually his clothes. And then the setting, because he wanted to create a unique look that felt authentic to the personal brand that he created. And here again, this, and then he helped style the other people based off of that mood board. It totally works. So he's done a phenomenal, here he is. This is on his mood board.
That's him playing. That's him playing the
He's done
bagpipe.
a phenomenal job. And here, I mean, look, it's exactly his mood board. It's actually kind of
And by the way,
freakish how like on the dot here.
he walks around the house in these clothes.
Yeah, that's accurate. So actually, I will show you what the mood board looks like one more time so you can really see, compare it to that. Unfortunately, this doesn't let me share more than one thing at a time.
No, they changed it.
I know, I hate it.
Yeah, they
Zoom,
changed.
stop changing things. Okay, here we go. So if you go back, this is his mood board. And you can see, let me put this up. Here's that first look we saw, right? Actually, the first look was this one up here. This is the second look. He has all of these looks. And then on the actual full mood board, you saw the kilt and all those other things. So the way that we source the colors is if you go back to the original mood board, which I'm going to share that one more time. Sorry guys, it's a little jumpy just because of the way that Zoom is now. So if you go back to, where is that board?
It's trying to share your screen. It doesn't look like it's working.
Yeah, it's being extra screwy.
There you go. All right, so you can share the screen now and you'll see this.
Is it working now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So if you go back in here, the way that I selected the colors is I look for the common colors, the things that keep showing up. So orange, this teal, this green, there's a red, this red keeps showing up. There is, see here's the teal again, there's the green again, there's the yellow, there is the red.
6 colors? Is that what we're doing? 6 to 8 colors?
And then white. White is his other color that pops up consistently. I like to do 5 to 6 colors. Usually when people start getting into more than that, they get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about the colors is you don't have to use all of the colors on your person. You can also just use the colors for the graphic elements that go into your marketing and your personal branding.
So can we go look at like a Gary Vee? Is Gary Vee a good example?
Yeah.
Because Gary, regardless of what you think about Gary is who he is. He kind of lives who he is without a problem. So Gary, you guys know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, right? Gary Vee, famous speaker, kind of that. Well, Sandy will show you exactly. So we're going to go look at what Gary, and now this is his website. Go for it, babe.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here you can see Gary Vee, and his colors are very obvious for the branding that was done for him. Black, white, red. The next color is, you guys want to tell me, can you guess what the next color is? I said black, white, and red. What's the next one?
Yellow.
You gave it away.
Oh, sorry.
Of course it's yellow. It's really, really obvious. And then the only other color that I would say would be this blue. So those are blatantly his colors. So red, black, white. There's the yellow. Blue would be his next color. And you can use variations of blue, but it's definitely a blue, either a navy blue or this blue.
By the way, Sandy, you have to say, we're not just talking about when you do a mood board for the colors of what you wear. It's also your colors for your branding.
Yeah, it's everything.
Yeah, right.
It's the graphics, it's the text, it's your logo, it's your design. So if you look at Gary Vee, like I'll go to his Instagram, for example. Let's see if there's a short link on here. Here we go. You'll see that it's a common. There it is.
You see the yellow, blue.
There's even red. There's the green. There's yellow. There's blue. There's black. Like he's super white. I mean, he's super consistent. And then if you go to Google, so let's go Gary Gary V. Actually, let's just Google it. And then go to images. Sure, look. Black, red, yellow, white, blue. I mean, it's so consistent that it's laughable, actually. It's kind of cool. He does a really great job at making his personal brand very consistent. Not just the colors, but also the way he dresses. So for example, he likes to wear hoodies. So you'll see him often in hoodies. You'll see him in long sleeve knit sweaters, kind of like this. You'll see him in those a lot. Over here is one as well. White t-shirts, basic t-shirts. You always see him in a beanie. He always sports facial scruff. In almost all of the images you see of him, he's either wearing a beanie and facial scruff, or he's got some sort of scruff. Not a full mustache or a full beard or a full goatee. It's always just a scruff. And he's incredibly consistent. Let's go back to his website. Here you'll see as well in the way he dresses. There's that long sleeve knit shirt. There's his facial scruff right here. If you go down here, he's scruffy, even though he's better clean shaven.
It's still the same.
Shirt.
It's still the same.
Here, hoodie, shirt, t-shirt, scruff. Even in his graphics, he's wearing the beanie and he's wearing the scruff in his cartoon of himself.
Well, because it's consistent. People will know what that is right away.
It's so
Can
consistent.
Can you now go to your webpage? Sandy in Focus.
Yeah.
And I want to show you why, because Sandy did something that was really important. She took you on a SEO search, a Google search, and showed that the brand was consistent. So now this is Sandy's website. See if you could pick out her colors. Can you notice them right away? I mean, they're all over the place. So as you move through here, what is she wearing? She's got that pink. She's got the white.
Dusty Rose.
Dusty Rose. You can see the blue that's inside.
The powder blue.
Powder blue. Mm-hmm. Across the board, you can see the connection with those colors because she's done her mood board. There's her, what is it called? Baby blue. What is it? Dusty blue?
This is like a baby blue, yeah, like a powder blue. But white, so my colors are this kind of like dusty rose color, gray, a powder blue, white, that's obvious, this purple color, and yeah, like a purple. And then I use the, I think that's it. Those are my colors, and black. I use black as well.
And if you go down to your Instagram,
and my
or no, let's do a Google search.
Okay, so if you do a Google search.
So watch now, if you do a Google search on Sandy, watch what happens. It's the same thing like Gary V, because now she's been supporting her colors from her mood board. It's the same thing that pops up on Google now.
Super consistent. So there's the black, there's that dusty rose, there's white. Even when I'm on stage, I wear white. In my videos, that's actually soft pink that comes out as white. There's the gray, there's that would be considered dusty rose because we can go monochromatically on a lot of scales. I can't control what other people do to my pictures, so this is what someone else did, and this is what someone else did. But at least the way I show up in my pictures is fairly consistent.
Which eventually,
even my outfits in public.
Which would eventually kind of control the Google searches too, by the way. And that's important.
Yeah.
This is why, great job.
Thank you.
This is why you understanding the process of designing a mood board is so important for your own personal brand. Because that's going to go across everything, what you wear, how you present yourself, what your website's going to look like. It should go along also with your Instagram and your social media. You should follow these almost parameters. It sounds like you're going, oh, I'm so stringent now. I don't have that freedom. I think it's the other way around. It gives you now permission to go deep inside those parameters that you created. You could go deep. You don't need to go wide and be inconsistent. They're going to go, well, why are you like that? Tony Robbins is the same thing. He's got the baseball cap on. He wears a certain type of shirt. Across the board, you know what Tony Robbins is always going to look like.
And what's interesting is it actually grants you more freedom. So for people who go, oh my God, now I got to focus on these colors. I got to buy everything in blue. It's not really like that because when you shop now, you don't look at anything else. You don't waste your time perusing through racks of clothes. If you know you don't wear prints because your mood board doesn't say have prints, and you know you only wear 3 colors, when you walk into a store, you just look for those 3 colors. It's like, boom, super fast how you can get through shopping. Same thing with online. My clients always say, when I first start with them, they're like, oh, this seems like it's gonna be really overwhelming. I don't know how I can maintain it and I hate shopping. And by the end, they're like, it was incredible. It's so easy. I can totally maintain it. Shopping is so much fun now. I'm so fast and I don't hate it anymore because I'm just like, pshoo. So.
Honestly, going shopping with Sandy is not a problem because she's not looking through every single freaking rack for something because it's on sale. Because even if it's on sale, if it doesn't match her colors, she won't get it. So she's very, very focused. And then also looking through Amazon or something online, bam, knows
Actually,
exactly what.
I make that even easier because I only search by colors.
Yeah.
So I select, if I'm shopping online, I select the colors that I know I want. I don't waste my time looking at any other colors. It's amazing.
Okay. So for any questions from any of you? Because I know we're going through this kind of fast. No?
Oh,
All
I
right.
have a question.
Go
So
for it.
I have a very reddish face, made more red by these yellow lights, but I know what clothes look good on me and what colors. There are a lot of colors I like, but they don't look good on my body. So I'm a little bit confused about the color scheme. Are we talking about colors I'm attracted to or colors that look good on my against my face?
So the way that I usually deal with that is if your mood board has a few colors that look good on your skin tone and then the rest don't. You don't have to wear, like for example, red. Red won't look good on your skin tone, right? Because you're already a pinch red, it'll just make you look more red. So you don't need to wear red on your skin tone. You can have, if you're in a picture or doing a video, you can hold up a red book. You can have a red coffee cup. You can have something red in the background, like a piece of artwork that's red. You can have a red pen. So you can still incorporate red into your branding. You don't have to actually be wearing it. Another way that you can do it is for your graphics for your website. Let's say your colors are red, blue, white, black, and gray. And you look great in white, black, and gray, and blue, but red's just not it. You can wear all the other colors and save red for the stripes that are in your website, or the logo, or copy, or some sort of design element. You don't have to physically wear it on your body. So if you saw for Gary Vee, his colors were very specific, but he hardly actually wears red. Red's always superimposed behind him, or it's in the graphic elements, or it's in something he's carrying, but he's not actually wearing red.
So can I give you an example? I'm going to bring up somebody. Can you bring up your browser again?
Yeah.
I want you to do an image search of a fictitious character. Okay? You're going to share your screen. Okay? And the fictitious character, share your screen. You're going to love it you're going to love this too. Here we go. The fictitious character is Bobby Axelrod. You know what that is, right? There you go. A new image. All right, so one of my favorite characters is Bobby Axelrod. If you've ever seen, of course, what show? Billions.
Billions. And Billions did the branding for this character. They created the mood board for him. They've created his style. They are down to the wire when it comes to having a specific look for him. Whoever does his wardrobe is brilliant and very meticulous. As you can see, it's incredibly consistent. He's not wearing hot pink or red in any of these pictures.
No.
He wears, his colors are navy blue or blue, black, this like earthy kind of color, like a grayish earthy, I don't even know what color that is. It's like a brownish grayish.
But it's tight clothes, tight fitting?
Yes, so he wears things that are athletic looking, like this puffy parka, but still upscale. So you can tell that from the patchwork to this parka, it's a very expensive puffy parka. He wears these Henley shirts consistently. You always see him in a Henley or a crew neck, like long, thin knit sweater. They always look elegant on men. He always has like these kind of zip, simple little jackets. You'll see them over hoodies. He wears also very nice hoodies. He has a suit and t-shirts. It's very, very consistent. Even how he layers. There's always consistency in everything that he has. And it's obviously been created, but it's incredibly consistent.
And look when it's not his character. Go back up. Look right here.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it's the actor, but it's not his character and it just looks wrong.
Totally looks wrong.
So
they've been very consistent in making sure that he meets the stylization of wardrobe to match his brand. And it's not just the wardrobe. Look at the way he carries himself.
Yes.
See the way his chest is always lifted. He always has that determined face, that power stance. Even in his casual shots like these, he looks very consistent here. You can see that there's just like this air of confidence. And of course the actor's bringing that, but you can bring that air of confidence into whatever you do if you have it that you want it to be a certain way. So one of the other elements I like to discuss.
By the way, Damon Lewis, when he was in Homeland, he was a total different character in the way he would dress. So he owned this character totally differently too. And I think he lives in this character so much better than like in Homeland.
Yes.
But they put so much time and resources into making sure that character across the board stood a certain way, looked a certain way, and had that personality all the time.
Exactly. And then another thing is your mood board isn't just about the colors and the way that you stand. It's also what is the feeling that you want to evoke for your personal brand. Do you want people to see your brand as joyous and fun and playful, or serious and focused and really just targeted? So you can decide for yourself what you want people to see, and then you can actually create that and make that happen.
Are you ever too old to do a new mood board?
No.
No? And can a mood board change along the way?
Yes, it can. Absolutely.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up, Sandy and I are about to embark on this whirlwind trip we're going to do for the next year. And I'm wondering, by the end of the trip, would our mood boards change because of all the things that we've seen or we've been exposed to?
It absolutely can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually did a test for myself. I did a mood board about 3 years ago, and I decided to do it again. I'm very consistent. I mean, it was exactly the same colors. Even though the images were shifting a little bit, the colors were so spot on, and the energy I wanted to evoke was there. So that might stay the same, but what happens is when you start to learn and grow and discover new things, your tastes start to shift because you might see something that you never saw before and realize that you love that even more. And then there becomes an evolution.
Want to try now? Can we try and make one? Yeah. You want to do it for a character, for someone here, for one of us? How do you want to do it?
Well, I was going to say mood boards don't necessarily have to be tied to your personal brand. You can also create a mood board for your business. And I was going to show how to do that.
Okay.
If you guys want to see that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's the exact same process.
Okay. So do you want to pick a business, or do you have
I'm actually going to show it for my business.
Okay.
Because that really, I have it, so it makes sense.
any questions so far, guys? Is this okay? You enjoying this?
Oh, it's great. I will have questions, but I'm saving to see this next section.
All those eagles have questions.
All right, give me just a second.
We must need to understand much.
Hi, Emmanuel. Christopher Cooper, are you getting ready for Christmas with that beard?
Hi, Christopher.
Man.
So I'm going to show you guys my confidence program, how I actually came up with the stylization and how it looks, and the mood board that went with it. So I'm going to go down. I'm loading my mood board. It's on Pinterest. A little slow right now. Okay, so when I started doing Confidence Jam, I came up with the idea actually at a live event. I was at a Brendon Burchard mastermind, and it was called Experts Academy, and we were talking about the different products that you can make as an expert in your field. And I had been focusing on doing personal branding photography for people, and I was like, I want to create a product. I don't know what it is. And then it finally came to me, and I went up to Brendon Burchard, and I said, I want to teach people confidence. And he goes, yes, you should definitely teach people confidence. And I remember I was like, oh, I got confirmation, affirmation, yes! I was super excited. And I had super energy. I got on a plane that day to fly back to LA. And on the plane, I thought, what am I going to call my awesome confidence program? I'm good at confidence. I can teach it. I teach everybody. Confidence is my jam. Yeah. And now if you think of the phrase confidence jam, it makes you think of that's my jam, right? Something from the 80s. Everyone used to say in the 80s and 90s, that song is my jam. So immediately when I started just brainstorming what I wanted it to feel like, the feeling, the vibration, the energy that came out of Confidence Jam, I instantly knew I wanted it to have an 80s vibe. I knew it. What did I love about the 80s? I loved Flashdance. I loved the hair flying, that empowerment, female empowerment, that sexiness without being over the top. What else did I love? I loved the movies. I loved the science fiction. I loved Tron and all those futuristic pew, 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 and laser tag and just man, I love the movie Mannequin. Things that just were magic. I just thought that things from the 80s felt magic. I loved the music. I was the lasers. I just thought it was brilliant. And I said, that's going to be it. Confidence is my jam. And I'm going to make it feel like something that fell out of the 80s, but it's empowering and futuristic all at the same time. So to start, I went on Pinterest and I started this board. I'm going to share it with you. Why is it doing that?
That's Nikolai's.
Hold on, I'm going to close that out because this is Zoom because I clicked Chrome
Yep.
and it's showing other things. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm starting from the bottom instead of the top because the bottom is where I first start pinning. So Pinterest goes from the bottom up. But I started pinning here. And what I came across was Atomic Blonde. And I was like, oh, yeah. Even though it's not from the 80s, the movie is set in the 80s.
Retro.
It's very retro. And it felt right to me because she was this powerful spy boss babe. And she was like really cool and sexy and pretty, but covered up at the same time. I loved it. So I said, let's do Atomic Blonde. I also loved the way that they did the logo. If you see here, Atomic is sort of written sideways and it's a handwritten stylized font with a graphic font here. I just thought that was edgy. I liked the contrast. I thought that's totally it. And then of course I pinned Flashdance because it's the first thing that came to mind. And then from Flashdance, I found the Dirty Dancing and it kept going from there. What I also found was I was drawn as I was pinning to these kind of pin up, like cut out, supreme, like colors like this that felt kind of retro, but it also felt a little bit 1950s pinup to
Like
me.
newer, yeah.
Like newer art, like edgy graphic. I just kind of really liked it. Even like this with the girl in the pool with her hat and the legs and the colors. So I said, you know what, I love those colors. I'm just gonna keep pinning it too, even though it didn't necessarily meet my original concept of 1980s.
Are you in Pinterest right now?
I'm in Pinterest
Can you show
right
what
now.
that means when you say pin?
So what you do is when you do a search in Pinterest and you find something you love, you can actually click it and pin it. So for example, one of the things I loved is I loved this graphic art design, being a graphic designer. See how it pulls up additional options. So then I would scroll and scroll, and if there was something that I loved, so I was like, ooh, this I gravitated towards right away. See how it says save? You can save it. Let me zoom in. And you can zoom in here, and then you can click over it, and it'll say, ooh, see, I just clicked something back.
So pinning means you
Pinterest
basically
gets a little
say,
squirrely. Sorry, guys.
it's also Zoom slows it down a lot.
Zoom
Yeah.
slows it down, and Pinterest can be squirrely. Okay, so I can go in here and I can hit save, and I can select which folder I want it saved to, and that can be part. And actually, I ended up pinning this because I thought it was just so cool. I loved it. Let me go back here. Okay, so now, as I was pinning, see, back to the bottom, let these pins load. Here you go, there's that image right there. Then I would find things like this. And it felt graphically right in my mind. And these like 1950s, 1960s kind of colorful bubblegum pop colors kept pulling. And then logos. I was thinking I want it to be very neon. I want it to be edgy and mysterious and really cool. And as you can see, I started getting deeper into my pins. Here's the Miami Nights. Here's like this rad feeling. I loved the graphic elements in here. I loved the colors here. And whatever I loved when I was going through it, if I loved it, I pinned it. Eventually, as I was starting to design this out, I realized that I also loved this kind of art, which here, if you see this one on the right, the girl with the sword, this art is called Neon Noir, which I didn't know at the time, but I ended up from doing enough pins on Pinterest discovering that they called it Neon Noir. And I decided that I wanted to have my own Neon Noir person because it was badass, but I wanted it to represent me. So now we take all of these pins that I pinned on Pinterest. So I have my Neon Noir, I have all my anime stuff that felt Neon Noir, you can see it up here. Some of these girls were super badass. I pinned all of this stuff. I was like, okay, this is it, I love it. And I put together the final mood board, which was the basis that I used to create the artwork and create the content for my Confidence Jam program. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like in just a second.
Any questions so far, guys? Okay? Barbara, you okay? Got a
I'm
thumbs
good.
up?
Thanks.
Okay, so
I have my Pinterest up, so I can pin.
You got your Pinterest up? Okay.
I do have Pinterest. I didn't get it, but now Sandy's giving me a practical use for Pinterest.
Oh yeah, it really is.
Because before I'm like, what's this Pinterest for? Now I get it.
what it's for. Okay, so this is where it went. I created this as my final mood board at the time. So you can see here, I selected these colors from the colors that I found, right? So there's yellow, here's the yellow, there's the teal blue, there's this pink, this like peachy pink color, there's this more fuchsia color, this beautiful purple and black. You can see that's very consistent. The only other color I would probably pull is this blue, like there's this neon kind of blue. But other than that, I'm pretty consistent on what I picked. So I did this board, I was really happy with it, and then it was time to actually design. And I knew for my logo, I wanted it to feel like something on this board. I wanted it to have the font that's something bigger, and then I wanted to have the knights, or like this slanted handwritten. But as I was actually graphically designing it out, it technically didn't work that way because confidence was a bigger word and jam was really little, and it looked weird if I put jam below it. And so I had to design it and get a little bit creative. So it didn't turn out exactly as I'd envisioned, but it came out pretty darn close, and I'm super thrilled with it. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Sorry guys, this used to be super easy where I could share my desktop and flip through images, and then Zoom decided to get creative and it's not working as well. Okay. This is what my final mood board looked like and my logo creation. So you can see, here's the mood board. You can see I picked new colors because I realized that this orange was really a beautiful color that I wanted to incorporate. Here's the blue as well. I actually loved this movie Alita when it came out, and when I was creating this logo, I found Alita right before, and see how the text is sideways, so I knew I wanted mine to be sideways. And then I realized her colors were neon noir, and she was the badass warrior babe, which is what I wanted for Confidence Jam. So I made sure to incorporate her into my design elements when creating this and selecting colors.
By the way, it was also the first movie we saw together.
It was our first movie
Yes,
we
it
saw
was.
together. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's what it worked out. I didn't get this like Miami, see how the lettering on Miami is? I didn't get that, but I still got this like flow and organic handwritten feel, and it worked beautifully. I was super excited about it. Then once I did this, I created this website, which I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so keep in mind, I had the idea for a person, an avatar that I wanted. I knew I wanted it to be me. I went online and tried to find someone that I could hire to do it. And believe it or not, during the peak of COVID, no one was accepting graphic work. I was like, what? I was reaching out to like William Quigley, who owns a graphic company, and that's all they do is like skins for companies. And he was like, I don't know anyone. And then I was reaching out to people privately on Instagram, people on Upwork, people on any platform, even artists.
Well, they wanted a lot.
They either wanted so much that it wasn't feasible, or the wait was so long that I couldn't wait, or they didn't want to work at all, which was crazy. So that said, I took an online course for $35 and I learned how to do it myself. And this is what the end result looks like.
So you drew this.
Yes.
Everything here, Sandy did everything here. You'll see everything that, again, went with the mood board, and she had to do it herself.
Yeah, this was my first attempt at drawing an animated character of anything. So I've never done this before. So I created it. There's that neon noir. So I pulled that from my Pinterest boards. If you go back to Pinterest, see here, you'll see on this image in particular, this was my inspiration. See the blue and then the pink, right? So that makes up that neon noir look. So I created the neon noir. I created the outfit. So this actually is something that I would wear on stage. So it matches my personal brand because I always wear white fitted dresses that are like knee length and short sleeves. So that's totally my style. I have that confident pose. So the posture, I created this because it's how I teach people to stand, head up, and a big, beautiful smile. That was my inspiration. But then I wanted to keep that Tron sci-fi, stellar, galactic superstar feel in the background, which I did. But the element that you'll see that's really interesting, oh, hold on, let me go back here on my Pinterest board. If you go down that Tron whole, like straight up look, Pinterest being really slow right now, guys, sorry. It's down here somewhere. Come on, load. Actually, I think it's on the other page. Come back. There we go. Okay, so here's Tron. So you can see it's in the background. Here's like the Laser Panther. So there's that floor in the background. You can see how I have like even the Ready Player One has that like feeling. I wanted to keep that feeling in the design that I created. And I managed to do it perfectly. Then that bubblegum pop feeling, that 1950s sort of pinup feeling, that's where I created the thumbnails for each one of my lessons.
They're called praxises, like a praxis, like a lesson, but a practice. So each one of those praxis is an actual class.
Yeah.
A series of classes.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Jared, I learned how to design this graphic myself. So I took a $35 online class and I learned how to actually illustrate and animate from scratch.
The guy was like out of Spain, I think.
Yeah, the guy, no, he was French Canadian.
Okay, that's right, French Canadian.
And, but he lives in like Singapore or something. But yeah, I took his class and it was the best investment ever. Okay, so here is what I ended up coming up with for my lessons. Each one tells a story. I manipulated these graphics to look this way to match my mood board. So this one is about diving in and getting started. This one's about getting laser focused on how you define yourself. This one is about your self-care and loving yourself. And this one is about mood boards, which we'll actually click on this one because that's what we're talking about. And when you go into practice for it, it looks like this. And see, I kept these same playful colors that you see from my mood board in the style and the look of my final product. So that's what it looks like. I even did it in, for example, the videos. So if you were to play a video, there's that look. Sorry guys, it's not making sound because I don't have my audio on, but that's what it is. So there's that neon look. There is the neon stellar intergalactic kind of futuristic feeling. And then it goes through me teaching how to actually use the program. And you can do this, and there's my mood board. You can do this yourself. You just have to get creative and create a mood and a feel for your personal brand or your business brand that you can do this with. And I keep this very consistent all the way till the end. So if you were to jump all the way to the end of this, you'll see there are the colors, there are the elements, the design elements that match, and then it wraps it up with that full-on neon noir look.
All consistent?
All taken
very
from
predictable.
my mood board.
And you know that Sandy is behind it, meaning it's hers. So if somebody else rips it off and it has all her colors, they ripped off her. I know a lot we gave out today. Sandy really dove deep. I know that it seems daunting. It isn't once you start the process of doing the mood board.
Yeah.
So opening up Pinterest and starting to click on things. So once you click on one picture, then it shows other similar pictures.
Yep.
So it allows you to start to go deeper and deeper and deeper.
So if you like something, but you don't love it. So let's say you're looking for a specific type of sweater. Let's say a little striped panel sweater. And you Google sweater with stripe on shoulders. And then you figure out what it's called. Or you're in Pinterest and you do sweater with stripe on shoulders. And there's something similar.
That's
Amazon, Alexa is just pulling stuff up, or Google is. Okay, and then you figure out what it's called and you pin it, and you go on Pinterest and you find it, but it's not exactly what you want. Click it, and then it'll give you more like this. And then try to keep clicking the things that are as close to what you want as possible, or tweaking your search keywords until you find what you want. And if it's still not what you want, keep clicking through, and eventually it'll serve up something that's closer to what you want.
Yeah, it'll start really getting deeper and deeper to find or connect with what you are and what you want to be. Now understand, this is not something that happens with 4 or 5 or 10 different things you pin. You have to have at least 100, right?
I'd say at least 150.
Yeah.
The reason for that is if you pin 50 items, chances are most of your items are going to be very similar in the first place. And it's hard to get a sense of what your common thing is that you're pulling. Also, don't sit there in your mind and say, okay, I know I love purple, so I'm just going to deliberately pin purple. That's not the point of the exercise. The point is to actually find what your subconscious colors are. What are you subconsciously gravitating towards that you didn't even realize before? Hence the pinning things that you love.
Like nature.
Like nature things. So I have a client, oh my God, her board was so perfect. I said, pin everything you love, because I didn't explain this process to her. Just pin things you love. She pinned amethyst crystals and emerald crystals. She pinned peacock feathers, and she pinned sunsets, like where the water crashes into the rocks and stuff. Everything consistently had like a deep peacock green, a deep peacock blue, like the colors that you would find in peacock feathers, an amethyst purple, and a fuchsia. It was so consistent. It was in the jewelry she was pinning, the clothes she was pinning, the crystal she was pinning. It was so consistent that I knew what her colors were so easily. And when I told her, she's like, oh my God, I love these colors. That's so me. And then she hadn't even realized how much stuff she actually owned of that until she started going shopping in her own closet. And she owned more of it because she's like, well, I don't have anything green. And then when she looked, she had so much green. She's like, I can't believe how much green I have. Because her subconscious self was gravitating towards it, not her mental idea of what she wanted.
Okay, wait, now take it the other way around. After you know your colors and what works for you, what do you do with what you have that doesn't go with your brand?
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Unless it's an absolute basic, like a white or a black. So I always say keep a black,
Something
keep a white,
neutral.
because it's neutral. You might need to work to an event or, dress codes or whatever. But if it's like, if your board has purple, green, blue, gray, black, and your closet is full of red,
Yeah.
Just gotta go.
And it actually helps you out then too, because now what happens is the clutter that's inside your head, looking at that is removed. You're able to hone in more on what your brand is, on what works with you.
Here's another magic thing that happens.
Uh-oh.
When you get rid of all the clothes that aren't on your personal brand or the things in your home that don't match you or whatever, you actually clear out space in your mind. So you speed up your life, you take away stress, and you put yourself at ease because you don't have to think about all that excess. It's really nice.
Okay, guys, I have to be honest with you. The problem is with someone like me, clothes have memories. Okay?
Yep.
So what I did was I told Sandy, have at it with my closet.
He was very smart, is what he's saying.
Because I realized if I would have sat there going, oh, this shirt, boy, I wore this when this happened, and it's not really helping me out because I put it on. No one knows that history of that shirt. It just looks stupid on me.
It looks so stupid. Really, really embarrassingly stupid.
So what happened is by me saying, just do your thing, I would walk into the aftermath. Matter of fact, she just did it again. She only did it like 2 weeks ago, and I walked in my closet.
It's like heaven in there.
It's very sparse. Well, it's not sparse. It looks really good. But there was a mound of clothes. It looked like, I don't know, something I could have shipped over to like a third world country and I would have outfitted them all. But I got it. And that clutter now is not here anymore in my mind and not in my closet. And I'm able now to appreciate newer clothes even more now because I go, oh, I'm going to wear this. Because something else from my history doesn't now say, oh, wear me, wear me, wear me, because I'm historic and I have an emotional attachment. Nope. I start with new stuff.
Yep.
And the new stuff looks fabulous on me.
It does.
It really does.
It really does.
So, and I'm looking at like Rick right now. I know that shirt you probably love, but is it part of your mood board? I don't know.
Well, purple is. Actually, one thing that came to mind in listening to this is that it's almost like your subconscious is advertising to your conscious mind, but you don't know it. And you have all these associations from your past. I prefer association board rather than mood board because to me, it's all these associations. And so, and also it sparks a creativity about how you're going to present yourself in a way that wouldn't have happened had you not gone through the exercise. So this stuff isn't up my alley, but I'm very intrigued by it.
Well, wait, when you say it's not up your alley, why do you say that?
Well, because I'm not, I'm not into sort of I'm not into a marketing mindset. That's what I mean. That's not something that comes natural to me. So I see this as something that you're marketing, your personal brand.
What do you have a product, service, or something that you sell or offer?
Well, I'm developing something at the moment.
Eventually you will have something that you're selling or offering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason that personal branding is so valuable is because when you have that thing that you want to sell or offer, you want to come across as trustworthy, as relatable, as someone that when people see you, you're memorable and they like you. Because then they want to buy from you. You could literally be selling toilet paper. But if you are that cool, oh, you know that toilet paper guy? He's so nice. Wait, which one? The one that always wears the fedoras? Yeah, he's so funny. Every time he shows up in those fedoras, they make me laugh, but he's so cool. It's about being memorable.
I understand. Rationally, I understand. I'm just saying emotionally, it's just, it's not, there's a disconnect between rationality and emotionality in terms of this stuff. So,
right. It's something that you have to
I mean, I'm not having been in the service side of things, I don't see myself, but I see the value of it. So,
yes.
You don't have to convince me. I can see the merit of it. It's just that I have to go against my natural emotional grain, even though my intellect says,
you do.
Called change.
Yeah, exactly. Change. Yeah, exactly.
Change. It's not fun for everyone, but it's a necessary element. One other thing that I wanted to add was, I lost it.
Jared, what were you going to say? Why don't you just say what you're going to say instead of typing it, Jared? Turn on your camera. Let's say what you have to say.
No, I get what Jared is saying.
What's he saying?
So, Jared, do you mean because you had a professional come in and they told you, oh, these are your colors and this is what's going to work well for you and here's what you should do? Should you stick with that or should you ditch that? Okay.
That is correct. Yes.
Well, here's the answer. It all depends on what you want for your personal brand. If you want people to see you as authentic, so true to who you are and connect with you on an authentic level. So however you describe yourself, how others describe you, what makes you feel good and you're showing up as that person, then you have to do the mood board, and you can't take the advice of a stranger.
It's got to come from you.
The reason is people will look at you, and I've done this for years with my clients. I've been doing branding for 20 years. Oh my God. Okay, so I've been doing branding for 20 years. I started out doing web design, graphic design for people. I would look at their websites and make them look really pretty, and then I would have to match their horrible photos to their gorgeous designed websites and their branding that I did for their company, and there was always a mismatch. And when you show up, if you can't stay consistent to what someone else created for you, then there's going to be some inauthenticity that happens.
Authentic, yeah.
So if they always put you in corporate suits, you're buttoned up because in their mind, they want you to look like a boss, a powerhouse, like whatever they envision for you, but you're not going to actually show up and wear that and do that and be that, then you aren't being authentic. And so when you put on those suits that you would never normally wear, and when you style your hair in a way that you absolutely hate, you wouldn't do it, but they told you to do it, and when you're wearing colors that you go, I don't like it, but I'll just wear it just because, you can't be authentic.
You don't feel good in it.
You don't feel right. So if you are actually sourcing it yourself from your subconscious, you're picking colors, you're picking styles, you're picking things that feel good to you, and you are defining yourself in a way that makes you feel authentic. So if you're a happy, gregarious person who always jokes around, is a little cheeky, and you show up as such, yeah, you'll turn some people away. But the people who see you and identify with you and love that authenticity will be die-hard raving fans that will brag about you, that will remember you, tell you to everybody, and it'll be so much better than those few that don't like that.
So let me ask a question for Christopher. So Christopher's been known as the fire guy for the last 7,000 years, right? Because and now since he's not doing that anymore, he's now going into a new product line, new service. Your life has changed, Christopher. You're in another side of life now, right?
180-degree turn.
What's that?
Yeah, big change, 180-degree turn.
Yeah.
Chris, you did a mood board, correct?
I did.
Can you put a link in the chat so I can take a look at it? I'll look at it right now and tell you what's what.
I'll try.
So, but pretty much having something that's authentic. So for you, Jared, if you have a style and you don't resonate with it and it doesn't feel true to you, then change it. But do the mood board anyways, because you might find out that they were spot on. Like they might have some sixth sense and they could see you and go, okay, these are totally your colors. This is your essence. Because I can do that for my clients. I can look at my clients and tell them exactly what they should wear, how they should dress, and what their colors are. But I still use the mood board to get that result because they'll pin things that give me a sense of who they are. So I can sense if my client is super minimalist, modern, and like architecturally designed at such a high level that it feels like a spacecraft, or where they're all frou-frou and antiques and French cafe flowers. But I can sense that from what they pin on their Pinterest board. I can't put frou-frou French flowers in a minimalist modern building because she'll be out of place like a duck in a bowl of acid. Just
I have a question.
So you have to like figure out what is right for you.
How does it apply to a big company? Like the TV network I worked for had their 4 colors. They all were fine working together. They never popped with life. I mean, they were all okay. There was an orange, there was a nice orange, there was a gray, there was a light blue, whatever. They had no feeling to it, no emotion to it. But so how would a big company apply this? It's not just an individual's mood board.
Well, many big companies already do. Look at a Nike. Nike's very consistent. You don't see their little swoosh in fuchsia pink. So they've done their branding and they've figured out what colors work for them. It's red, navy blue, other things. Google's done the same thing. Apple Computer is notorious for it. They had the stripes. They decided that wasn't going to work. They've simplified. They have a very set base of colors. Their computers only come in certain colors now. And their phones and their devices, it's always white, gray, charcoal gray, or silver or gold. That's it. So they've been very committed to their colors. The problem that a lot of companies do is they hire low-end graphic designers, often from overseas, that don't have the education or the experience. They just know how to use the tools. They might be creative in terms of they can design something, but they don't understand the psychology behind it. And they will give them those generic, boring, flat, because
that must be what happened to us. By the way, for the mood boards you created, what design tool did you use that had the pictures and the little, color rectangles up at the top?
My favorite, and I can actually put a link in the chat. I love to use this one called Canva. And it's really, really nice because you can grab and do whatever you need to do in Canva to create all the elements, and it's free. So I'm going to give you guys a link. Give me just a second.
Christopher, you weren't able to find that link to your mood board?
Yeah, I found it. I'm just having issues trying to get it on there.
It should be just cut and paste, right? No?
Yeah, how do I get out of Zoom to do that?
Just, oh, you can't cut and paste
Hold
into
on. Oh, yeah, hold on for a second.
here, everyone. I'm going to put the Canva link in the chat. That's what that link right there will take you to where I send people to curate their mood boards. So I have them download their pins from Pinterest, so you can export or download all of the images that you pinned, the ones that you like, because you have to narrow them down, and then upload them into a poster on Canva, and then use a grid, and then drop them in, and then pick your colors. Canva does a really nice job of actually assessing all of the images and making recommendations for the most commonly used colors. So it's kind of nice. All right.
That's about it. Come on, Christopher, can you do it?
Yeah, I'm looking.
You need me to call Geek Squad up and have them come over?
Yeah.
The link not working, copy and paste the link.
No?
Sometimes Zoom doesn't like us sending links, and
Yeah, there's
just
some
copy and
limitations.
paste it. It should work.
Link works. Okay, good. Well, hey, Christopher, you know what? Maybe you could do is you could just email it to me or to Sandy, and we'll take a look at it later, okay?
Mhm.
Let's do that. But guys, again, this whole exercise is to help you out with your personal and your professional brand. It's both, and it goes along with what you wear and what your website should look like, how you design even your product lines. And I think you had a great example of what Apple has done. Even though they might introduce new colors at times, it still goes into the same format as being matted. You don't see shiny things coming out of Apple. Never, because it goes against what their brand is also.
Yeah, it's always like that matted, kind
Yes.
of metallic,
Mhm.
very, very streamlined. And then look at people who are very extreme. Like even the guy from Kiss, right?
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons, the way he dresses with his tongue and all the colors, and like he's consistently that.
Yep.
He's not walking around wearing like clown suit kind of clothes. His look very edgy and moody and dark and a perfect example is RuPaul. You see RuPaul as her character because he,
Yes.
Ru, I don't know. Ru splits themselves into two
He's very professionally
versions.
dresses.
So what's the stage Ru, which is very flamboyant and colorful and very high-end gowns and feathers and just very beautiful glitter and sparkle and the whole thing. And then when Ru is in person, business suits, clean-shaven, corporate, like super high-end professional look. They're two very distinct styles. You can do that for yourself as well. It's just Ru presents themselves as one person and then another. You might not be doing that.
And that's all for today, everyone. We want to thank you for sharing time with us, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy. Goodbye.
Thank
Nice.